Hey friends, if you are looking for a way to up your game and your communication and interaction with people, have we got an excellent EnterActive for you. Hi, I'm Jim Stillpepper with Envision Ed Plus, and for this EnterActive you're going to need an egg carton, just the bottom really, and random buttons. I got this at I think Hobby Lobby, so just lots of different random buttons. And this is going to be an EnterActive that pushes deeply on some topics that may be sensitive, so make sure you are sensitive, that you have the time, and that the relationship you are in with the person you are helping is ready to go to a deeper level. And so I take both items out and I say to the person, these buttons are going to represent bad things that have happened to us, or bad things that we have done, things that people have done to us that have hurt us deeply, choices we have made that have not turned out to be healthy for us or others. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to pick a button or two, and you can fill one role if you want, or I give them the option of just using one or two. But I'm going to tell them, you don't have to go into great detail, but if you pick a button and put it in, I'm just going to simply ask you to give me a short little phrase or sentence about it, of what it represents. And I always give them the ability to pass if they want. Now, what I have found is rarely do they pass because they're so focused on the buttons and what's going on inside their head that they will, in almost all cases, share something. And whether they pick two or three or fill them up, and sometimes I've had kids say, can I put more than one in the same pile? And I'm really very flexible with it. I am looking for that dialogue, and I love it that they have a dialogue with me, but I also want that dialogue in their head so that the buttons that they pick end up becoming an analogy, a metaphor for them that's tangible, touchable, and now we're about to make it even more interactive. And then at some point in the conversation, I say, we can get stuck with these problems, but your challenge is to see if you can move this button to this hole here, this button to this hole, and try not to let any of them fall out. And so most kids will do some kind of shaking and rattling, and I'm not overly concerned if one or two fall out. I don't make too big of a deal about it, but what I want them to see is if they are careful enough, they don't have to stay stuck with the bad things, the negative things that have happened to them, or the bad or negative things that they have done. They can actually progress through that. So sometimes it takes them a couple times because they might be trying to do this and then one of them slips out. Again, I try not to put too much pressure on them because I just want them to see how they might be able to move those. And then we spend a few moments talking about, what did you actually have to do to get those things unstuck and move to a different level? And that's then the unpacking I want to do with helping them identify what they can do right now with some of those things that they feel stuck in and how they could actually progress to the next level. I leave the solutions completely up to them because one of the cool things I had is a kid put the buttons in and he started to shake it and he got one or two and they said, wait, can I start over? So I said, sure, you can start over. So he moved the buttons back and he said, I just have to get him to the other side, right? Right. And he simply went like that. That was not at all what I was intending, but I loved his creativity. And again, I didn't need him to do it in a prescribed way. I just needed him to experience it and interact with it. And then we talked about what this represented in his life. And what he ended up saying was, this represented me having to think or rethink about my past. and it became a great discussion. I hope this interactive is helpful for you. I would love to know in comments below how it went, of course, without revealing any confidential information. If you have been given a light, please rise and shine while there is still light. Thank you all very much.